us, right?
Yes.
Making time for me. Welcome back to the day.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you. So tell us, what is this concept? Where do we start with me time?
So basically, we are such a busy and social society these days, and a big part of that social experience is from social media. And we have our hands in a lot of things. I mean, I'm always on here even encouraging us to be busy, stay involved, network, show up. But the other piece of that is that you've got to take time for yourself,
right,
and to get to know yourself.
Which can be scary. Right? I mean, sometimes we're afraid of what we might find, but I think that that's still a good mental exercise.
A lot of folks don't want to sit still and be in the quiet of their own mind, because me time doesn't mean you're physically alone, right? It doesn't mean you're laying in a bathtub with bubbles. Me time is being alone with your thoughts and doing things with yourself that you like to do. But some people don't want to sit still with their thoughts because there might be something that they've been putting off dealing with or facing. And when it's just you and your thoughts and that bubbles up to the front, you may not want to face that. But we know that we need to be our most authentic selves. And to do that, you've got to be honest with yourself about yourself.
Sure. And tell us, how can we benefit from this, even though it may be daunting for some of us out there?
So me time can even be enjoyable. You don't always have to self-reflect on great life decisions. It helps us recharge, and we can discover ourselves in new and different ways because we're always evolving. And it's a chance to, it sounds so cliche, but to be your own best friend, that you can find a way that my own company is comforting and comfortable to me as a person.
So what are some tips for first-time me time people,
you know,
if that makes sense?
It does, and it seems so silly, but I've read books about this. It starts with being present, okay? So it could even be something as simple as vacuuming, sweeping, or washing the dishes, and being present and noticing that what the soaps feel like, or the weight of the vacuum in your hand, or watching it. Simply being in the moment. Walks are wonderful because when you are thinking and being physical at the same time, which is walking is one of the easiest ways to do that, driving doesn't count, it really gets your blood pumping, and then thoughts really flow in a very motivational and uplifting way. But when you're doing these things, whether you're walking, dining by yourself, going to the movies by yourself, these tried and true methods, you need to be present,
right,
and not on your phone.
Right, and I was just going to ask you, so being present doesn't mean that you're in bed looking at all your Facebook friends and that kind of thing, right?
Right, so the technology has some great benefits, but some real downsides. And I think it's fine if you're on your tablet or your phone, if you are reading an article, if you're reading your Kindle, but when you're not alone is when you're scrolling on Facebook and you're going down the rabbit hole of making assumptions, lamenting about things, worrying about things, and am I really deep diving with me? Because the whole purpose of me time is to recharge, reconnect, and continue to evolve and get to know and appreciate and love yourself. And you can do that on your phone. I mean, even online shopping can be, a self-discovery experience. But if you find yourself going to anything that you would do that's disconnecting, because you could go to a restaurant by yourself, but spend the whole time chatting with the bartender, which is very social and outgoing, but you're not really connecting with yourself in that moment.
Right.
And you don't have to spend a whole evening with me time. It could be just 15 minutes. But if you're not truly being still with yourself and present, it's not me time. But folks need to do it, Jacqueline. They need to make it, they need to literally schedule it and make it a priority.
And I was going to ask, I mean, if you have kids, how do you schedule me time? I mean, how do you kind of make that distinction?
So, and it's tough, especially when you have little ones. By the time mine are going to bed, I'm like, I'm right after you.
right.
Let's all go to sleep together. It's 8:30.
Yeah.
So calling it a day.
Calling it quits.
Yeah. It might be having someone else watch them for a little bit. I spend a lot of time actually talking with my clients because they struggle with, I already use a sitter to work, and I'm like, can we use a sitter to get a manicure for 1 hour? How can we ask grandma to help us out for that? So people with kids, it is perfectly acceptable beneficial to have the children entertain themselves for 15 minutes with technology. We all struggle with that, or asking someone else, but it's fine. It's 15 minutes, and I understand how it feels that I'm already gone so much all the time, but if they are talking with you and needing you, you're not able to be present. And then the bonus and the benefit is, whether you're a parent or not, when you take that time to be with yourself and love yourself and get to know yourself more, you feel better.
Right.
You feel a little more engaged, so you're ready to face the kids again, face bath time, or face life, whether you're a parent or not. It really is beneficial, and you really can discover things about yourself that you didn't realize before. I mean, you can just stroll through even the library. I haven't honestly been to a public library in a while, but I used to go all the time.
Come on, they're my hangouts.
No, but I used to go. You know what? I'm going to go after this. I really am. I used to walk the stacks and just see.
Ladder Branch is beautiful, I'll say that.
See, there you go, on St. Charles Avenue, a little historic location for everyone to go visit. But walking the stacks, and it's quiet. You have to be quiet. It's a rule there. And you see what appeals to you. And you go, oh, I never thought about reading a book on that. How interesting. You see, and you get to know yourself in new and exciting ways.
That's a great tip. I love that. All right, thanks, Julie. So to learn more about Julie, you can head to 7602coach.com. And of course, there's much more to come on Great Day After the Break.